All right, friends, it is the new year. We are working our way into the end of February, and I didn't really do any New Year's resolutions this year, but my son is getting married, and I wanted to cut back on some of the calories, and so I started meal prepping. Super simple. I do the exact same meal every week. I eat it 5 days a week during lunch, and then we switch up our dinners at home so it doesn't get too boring. I've kept it really simple. I typically do 2 chicken breasts. I do these bags of the Knorr creamy chicken pasta, or I guess it's rice. And then I do a bunch of broccoli and put cheese on it. So the chicken and the rice is cooked ahead of time, cooled completely, and then put in little containers, which I will show you. So when I get to work, I literally put it in the refrigerator, and when it gets close to lunchtime, I grab it out, throw it in the microwave for 2 minutes. Everything gets warmed up, the broccoli cooks, the cheese melts, and it is perfect for lunch. It's been helping me to lose a few pounds, so I'm down about 7 pounds after doing this for 2 weeks. And the other thing I've been doing is making little parfaits, and I do them in these cute little jars that I got from Walmart. Not exactly sure how big they are. It says 120 milliliters, so they're not huge. The one thing that I got that I actually love is these plastic lids that go on top of them instead of the typical metal jar lids, and they're super easy to clean. The other thing I did is for my meal prepping, I got these glass containers off of Amazon, one large side, one medium side, and I put the chicken and rice over here, the broccoli and cheese on the right, and it makes it super easy. So I'll show you what I do to get everything ready, and I hope you enjoy. Try it out, see if it works for you. All right, so to fill for 5 days, I typically just get a 12-ounce bag of the broccoli florets, or you can just do one head of broccoli. The next thing I do is cheese. I'm doing cheddar jack. You can do whatever makes you happy. All right, so I just take it and I pile it on there. And like I said, when I melt it at work, all this melts down, it cooks the broccoli, and it is perfect. All right, we have our broccoli and cheese ready. Next comes the rice. So I just get a spoonful. Sometimes I add a little bit extra. The reason I do 2 packs of rice, and this week I did 4 chicken breasts, was because I am actually meal prepping for one of my sisters as well. Next, I cook this chicken in a beef broth. Typically, I do a chicken stock and then I add seasonings. You can do whatever you prefer. I just had some left over, so I wanted to use it up, but it definitely makes it a little bit more flavorful, and it pairs great with this rice. My meals kind of look like super easy, basic recipes. Look, I just dropped a piece of chicken too, which means my doggies can have it. I'll give one to you too, buddy boy. Good boy. All right, so that is lunches, and now we're gonna start with the parfaits. So I keep everything super simple. A bag of the granola typically lasts me 2 weeks, so I can normally I actually make 8 at a time, typically because my husband eats these as well. So I grab 1 bag of this that lasts 2 weeks. One of these fills up 8 of these little bowls. It's typically 2 big tablespoons. My container that I fill, and then I always do the red raspberries and blueberries. They're the 2 things that I found that work the best for me. I did try doing frozen berries, but they kind of melt throughout the week and they go bad pretty quick, where if you get ripe ones, you can literally save them a week and a half and they're absolutely fine. So that's the way I've been doing it. So the first thing I do is I take all my fruit and I wash it. All right, meal prep days for us are typically done on Sundays because it's right at the beginning of the week where everyone's getting ready. Your food is going to be nice and fresh and last you all week long. And I keep things simple, so I dump it all together and then cold water. And I always turn it on this spray to keep it easy. And instead of mixing this with my hands because I don't want to smush the berries, I typically grab some type of spatula and kind of just fold it into each other. Alright, so I'm going to take it and kind of move this stuff around. It's a little harder with only one hand, so I'm probably going to put the phone down and do this. Once I have everything nice and mixed up, I'm going to let it sit here for a few minutes. I'll shake out the water, And then I'm going to dump everything onto a paper towel and then dry it off. That way it stays fresher a lot longer. All right, so my berries are nice and clean. I'm gonna toss them around just a little bit, and then we are dumping them onto the paper towel. I'm gonna let them sit for a few minutes, and then I will blot them off. This is my favorite thing when it comes to granola, is the yummy fresh berries that get to go into it. Alrighty, so at this point I kind of root through it. Anything that's bad I toss. If there's any stems left in them, I pick them out. Just keep everything nice and clean. Look at that big stem. Raspberries are my favorite. So now I come in with more paper towels and just kind of blot these. And then I'll let them sit. And while they're sitting and kind of drying off a little bit more, that's when I start prepping my other stuff. So I'll show you how I put these together, and then we'll be ready for the berries. Yum! All right, so here we are with our Yoplait vanilla yogurt. I know that everyone's like, oh, Greek is the only way to go. Well, this is what I like to eat. It tastes good, and I'm still losing weight, so doing something right. All right, we have our little containers. So I line these up. And I only have 6 that are clean right now. We still had some left over from last week. So I start with my granola. Typically I get something that has honey in it. I think it tastes really good, and it's a little bit chunkier, which I like a lot. This stuff is a little bit more dry, but I still have some left over, so I'm going to finish it. All right, so we're gonna fill, I like just like the little bottom portion to be filled. That was just enough to fill these, which is awesome. Next step is my yogurt. And then we'll top it off with the berries, and it makes it so good when you dig into it in the morning for breakfast. So put this off. All right, so like I said, I use a big tablespoon. I pretty much do 2 big tablespoons, and it gets it nice and full in this. These are nice wide mouth jars. It just seems to be the perfect amount, and it's been working out great for me. I think it's, you don't really need more, and if you had any less, it wouldn't be enough. So I do 2 big scoops. I'm gonna have some left over this week because I'm missing 2 of these. Like I said, we didn't finish, but my daughter likes to eat it plain, so that's kind of perfect. All right, I might add a little half a teaspoon, tablespoon, I mean. All right, so our yogurts are ready. These look so good. And then moving on to our fruit. If I can get all these over to our new area, all my fruit. Oh, it looks so good. All right. I didn't get a good spatula this week to scoop, so I'm just gonna grab another one. All right, and I'm just gonna start adding all the berries into my little parfait, and then I'll show you what this looks like. All right, so this is number 1. We have all this left. There's our chicken. We are meal prepping. This is how our parfaits turned out. Oh, it looks like I can add a little bit more to that one. There we go. Another mess made. Also have our chicken meal plan, which is awesome. I do have leftovers today. Since I am helping out my sister, there's plenty for her to pick through here and make her own. So excited about that. And then we put our little lids on, and these guys are ready to go. parfaits are done. Ready to go in the fridge. The parfaits are in the fridge, and now we've given enough time for our rice chicken to cool, so we can put the broccoli cheese and everything in the fridge as well. These containers are great with 2 sections. They're made out of glass, and then the top is plastic. Keeps it easy to clean and nothing gets stained. Love these. This is what my meal prepped fridge looks like. I just grab what I need in the morning and then I can go. Even though this is just a simple idea, I hope it helped you, and hopefully you can find something that you can meal prep with your family. Typically my daughter helps out and so does my husband, and we make it a really quick thing every Sunday. Good luck, and I'll see you next time.